Per reports, the Pittsburgh Steelers are throwing out smokescreens on this one NFL draft prospect so no one knows how much they actually love him. But first, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers met with quarterback Shedeur Sanders not too long ago. And when the initial report came out, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers love Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur Sanders went on talk shows to say that it was a 10 out of 10 meeting and that he loves Coach Tomlin, reminds him of his father. But now, a smokescreen is being put out saying that the interview and the meeting went horribly. And it just doesn't make sense from a perspective of what people were saying about it. But when you think about it, maybe a smokescreen is being put out by the Pittsburgh Steelers into trying to trick people into thinking they don't like Shedeur Sanders. So if he falls to them, they will select him. So let's get into the initial report. The initial report from Shedeur Sanders from everyone was, hey, it was a 10 out of 10 meeting. Shedeur Sanders, he would be willing and happily play for Coach Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And to be honest, the Pittsburgh Steelers spent 5 hours plus with Shedeur Sanders in the meeting. Coach Tomlin loves him, and he really wants him to be the quarterback. That was the initial report. That was what was said. But now a report coming out is saying that it didn't go well and that he won't be a Pittsburgh Steeler. And that happened this week. That was a report this week that Shedeur Sanders' meeting with the Pittsburgh Steelers went horribly. And here's a quote. I've heard he will not be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I heard that their meeting did not go well. And that wasn't from someone telling me that. And this is always an assumption because someone is trying to affect these boards. End quote. So that report coming out that Shedeur Sanders' meeting didn't go with the Steelers shocked many people. And it low-key shocked me too because everything we heard was that I was doing great and that the meeting went very well. Well, Adam Schefter, he heard these news rumors basically saying that the meeting didn't go well, and he counter-reacted to it. And he put out his own saying of how it actually went. And when Adam Schefter reveals how it actually went, you have to listen, because he's a top ESPN insider and of the entire NFL. So he put out a report saying the Pittsburgh Steelers met with Shedeur Sanders last week, and I can tell you they came away from that meeting impressed. They liked him more than they thought they would have. End quote. So he basically just shut down all the smoke screens that were being put out, basically saying, hey, Shedeur Sanders' meeting didn't go actually well. The Steelers won't select him. He won't be a Pittsburgh Steeler. And he said, basically, that that's all false. The Pittsburgh Steelers liked the meeting. It went really well. And they actually like Shedeur Sanders. And when he talks, you listen. So that is what's being said. That's the latest news of Shedeur Sanders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So all the smoke screens that were going on about how the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't like him, that's all false. And you have to think of why maybe a smokescreen is being put out and who it's being put out by. When you look at what was said by Shedeur Sanders, he wants to be drafted higher. So he's saying that the meeting went really well, and he wouldn't say anything otherwise because he wants to be drafted. And if he slides all the way down to pick number 21, he wants to be selected by the Steelers. So he's obviously going to say the meeting went really well. So who's saying that the meeting didn't go well, if that was even a report that was true? Well, it was probably the Pittsburgh Steelers putting that out there, or the Steelers talking, or someone in the organization talking to someone else, and that report coming out. So it's a smokescreen probably by the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, if it's true, because the player's going to say it went well, but the organization doesn't want everyone else to know that it went well. So they're going to say it didn't go well, so it's putting up a smokescreen thinking, hey, we're not going to draft this player. You could let him fall however far, because if he gets to our pick, he's not getting selected. He's going to keep on falling in the draft. Well, that's a smokescreen because the Pittsburgh Steelers actually would select him at pick number 21. That's what we're thinking. And that's why it's probably been put out there, and that's probably who put out the smokescreen as well in this situation. So now we have to look at Shedeur Sanders and look at his personality, look at his fit. Would he fit with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, many people are saying that he's basically too aggressive and his demeanor isn't good and he's too kind of outgoing, things of that nature. But when you think about it, Mike Tomlin has dealt with worse in his tenure with the Pittsburgh Steelers from many different personalities. And to be honest, Shedeur Sanders is a winning player. Everywhere he's gone, he's made his program better. And he's just too confident. And you want a quarterback that's confident. So that's not a bad thing. All the things that are being said about him in terms of his personality aren't the bad things. He's confident. And that's what you need at the quarterback position and a leader. So Mike Tomlin has dealt with a worse and worse personalities in a bad way. And getting someone like Shedeur Sanders, whose personality is a good thing, it's not going to be effective in a bad way for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Mike Tomlin could easily deal with it if things go out of hand. He's dealt with it before. He could deal with it again if something goes wrong. And he's only going to be a rookie. He's going to learn. He's going to develop. He's Deion Sanders' kid. And I'm sure Deion Sanders won't let him get out of hand either. So the Pittsburgh Steelers looking at Shedeur Sanders is a good thing. And like I said, he is a winning player. He's gone to schools that weren't successful before he's got there. And when he's got there, he's changed around their program and made them better because of it. So you have to look at everywhere he's been and see how he's affected them. And it's only been positive. And that's why he's getting his number retired at Colorado. Number 2, because of how effective he was in a short time being there. So the Pittsburgh Steelers adding him to their program at pick number 21. And if he does come here, he's only going to make it a better program, a better team. Adding Shedeur Sanders, I believe, can really help this team. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to think of, are they going to select him? And to be honest, if he's there at pick number 21, I don't see them not selecting him, to be honest with you. But it's a matter if he falls to pick number 21 or not. Are they going to trade up for him? Probably not. Maybe not. I don't know. But if he falls to 21, he will be the pick. I just believe that. I don't see them selecting a defensive lineman over Shedeur Sanders, a franchise quarterback, at pick number 21. That just wouldn't make sense from an NFL football team perspective of how you're running your organization. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is the latest news on them regarding the NFL draft, regarding their prospects, and the one player that they're putting out a smokescreen for was Shedeur Sanders. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on this topic. How do you feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers apparently, per reports, rumors, whatever, putting out the smokescreen about saying the meeting went bad because maybe they want to select him at pick number 21. Do you think that's the reason, or do you think this was just a made-up topic by this random reporter? Let me know your thoughts. And also let me know your thoughts in the comments below about Adam Schefter basically saying, no, that's not true. The meeting actually went really good, and he shut that down right away, all the rumors. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis, reports. Everything surrounding this team, I've covered it. I'll continue to cover it as the draft is right around the corner and every new selection is going to be in. I'll have highlights, analysis, introductions to all these new players. So subscribe to the channel, turn notifications. But one last thing for me before I end this video, I just want to say, I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers shouldn't wait on Aaron Rodgers any longer. And if a quarterback is in the draft that they really like, that they think could be the future of this franchise, why wait another season? You don't know where your pick selection is going to be next year. You might as well go out and get your quarterback if you think he can be the guy leading your team. Aaron Rodgers is 40 plus years old. He's only going to be here for one season. You might as well get started on this little rebuild at the quarterback spot early and not wait an extra season. I know the draft isn't in Pittsburgh and you want to probably select a quarterback when it's in your draft, but if you could go out and get a quarterback that you like, you have to do it. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.